Okay, ready? So we already did this, right? This is the mesophyll. This actually right here is the vein of the plant. These are the stomata. That's the vacuole. That's the chloroplast. I know it's a bad copy right here, but you know it's a better. You guys can see a better one. This one was pointing at one of those little stacks. Thylakoid. This was pointing at the space around it. That's the stroma. And this was pointing at actually just like a stack of thylakoids called a granum. Mini granums are called grana. Okay, so I'm just going to say this so you guys, I don't have to write this. The mesophyll is the middle layer of the leaf where photosynthesis occurs. Chloroplast is the organelle where photosynthesis takes place within a plant cell. Thylakoid are the flattened, right, membranous stacks where the light-dependent reactions take place. Right, this is where the light-dependent reactions take place. Oops. Dependent reactions. The stroma is the space outside the thylakoids where the light-independent reactions take place. Oops. The vein of a plant, what does it deliver up to the leaves? Water. And also transports other nutrients along with the water. Water and nutrients. What does it deliver? What does it deliver away from the leaf down to the rest of the plant? What is being produced in the leaf? Oxygen leaves through those little openings. Oxygen leaves through these openings right here. Openings on the bottom of the leaf, right? Where O2 can exit and CO2 can enter, right? The leaf. But glucose travels down through the veins and water travels up through the veins. All right, so I'm so bad with these. Okay, where is violet? Right there. Is that violet? All right. Here's violet. Where is blue? Okay, blue. Where's blue? Right here? Up, right here? Right. I think it's probably, is that violet right there? Red right there. Red's over here. Where's orange? Is that orange? Is that orange? Is that orange? This is hilarious. Is that yellow? Yeah. So what are we missing? Is that green? Red, orange, yellow, green. Yeah, blue, indigo, violet. Right? So those are the spectrum from the highest energy, which is violet, to the lowest energy, which is red. I don't know. Indigo's like that in between blue, violet. I don't really care. Why do leaves appear green? Well, I'm going to highlight. Look at right here. These wavelengths right here, where chlorophyll does not absorb, right? This is all about absorption. It must then reflect green light. Okay, because those wavelengths of light between 500 and 550, that's green. Accessory pigments, right, are other pigments besides chlorophyll to allow the plant to absorb as many different wavelengths of light as possible. So there are other pigments, carotenoids, xanthophylls, right? The stuff that makes leaves yellow or orange. chlorophyll is not the only pigment. So accessory pigments are other pigments in a plant to help maximize the amount of light that the plant can absorb and use for energy. Okay. Because energy is involved in the formation of chemical bonds, the production of certain compounds can be used to store energy in chemical form. What is the most important energy storing compound used by every living cell? ADP plus a phosphate, right? If we add a little energy, what does it turn into? Got it? What do we use ATP for? Movement, cell transport, cell division, active transport. Lots of things. We need energy for all cell activities. Name 3 kingdoms of living things that have photosynthetic autotrophs. One kingdom is bacteria. They are called the kingdom of Monera. Huh? So there are some photosynthetic bacteria. Algae falls under the kingdom of Protista, or protists. Remember those paramecium that we looked under the microscope? Those guys fall under the kingdom of single-celled eukaryotic organisms. There are some that are photosynthetic. And then what's our favorite one? Plants, right? So, plants store their excess energy as... Yeah, and it's yummy, yummy for us. So forests have been called the lungs of the earth because they take CO2 out of the air, right? Here's my plant. CO2 comes into the plant. Guess what comes out? O2. And isn't that what we do? We breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. Well, guess what? They do the opposite. They breathe in carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen. That's why they're the lungs of the earth. Yes? Huh? We also breathe out water vapor. We do. Yes, correct. Absolutely. And you know what? Plants release water through their leaves as well through a process called transpiration. Every year we cut down 28 million acres of tropical forests. It's probably more than that now. Deforestation is blamed for what we call the greenhouse effect, which results from the buildup of carbon dioxide. Use the equation of photosynthesis and explain how deforestation. So if the equation is this, we take carbon dioxide gas and H2O in order to make sugar and oxygen gas. So this is photosynthesis. We remove carbon dioxide gas from the atmosphere. So the less trees we have, the less carbon dioxide gas we can take out of the atmosphere and put into sugar. So that's going to cause a buildup of carbon dioxide gas in the atmosphere, which causes what we call the greenhouse effect. Because that gas adds a layer of air that helps trap heat. Yeah, sure, cool, awesome. Let's plant more plants than we chop down. That'd be great. You're the first person to come up with that idea, by the way. Thank you very much. No, I'm just kidding. You're right. You know, we need more people to think like that. We need more people to think like you. We need more people to take that seriously because now it's starting to get hot and everybody's complaining. But I remember the greenhouse, guys, I've been around since the 1980s and we've been talking about this stuff since then. None of this is new. The equation for photosynthesis is carbon dioxide plus water. It's actually 6 molecules of carbon dioxide and 6 molecules of water. Arrow. Going to give you 1 molecule of sugar and 6 molecules of oxygen gas. So what are the reactants of photosynthesis? Those are the reactants What are the products? Those are going to be the products. Got it? So that goes here, right? And that goes here. Does that make sense? That looks awful? Whatever. Should I use a different one? Whatever, Mr. Vieira. Products. Is that better? Whatever. What's the source of energy? I like to give him some glasses. Is that green? I am so colorblind. Is that yellow?
Yeah, it's yellow.
Oh, whatever. You know, it must be the light bulb over there on the projector makes it look green. Okay, the light reactions. What goes in the light reactions? Water comes in along with NADP+, right? Right, and ADP and a phosphate. Okay? Then they turn into oxygen gas, ATP, and NADPH. Yes? Oh, dude, you're totally right. Bam! I forgot my 6 right there. Yes, you are correct. For the photosynthesis. These are the reactants for the light reactions. And those are the products for the light reactions. The energy for the light reaction still comes from sunlight. The dark reactions where we take CO2 and we take a little bit of the ATP that we just made. And we take some of the NADPH that we just made, and we're going to convert that into a little bit of sugar. Right, the ATP gets converted back into ADP and a phosphate, and the NADPH turns back into NADP+. So these, once again, reactants. These, once again, are the products. And where does the energy for the dark reactions? By the way, is that a good name, dark reaction? No, what's a better name for that? Light independent. Where does the energy come from? The light dependent reactions. Specifically, the energy comes from what molecules? ATP and NADPH. The energy for making sugar comes from the molecules that were just produced in the light reactions. Got it? Oops, sorry.